The Smile Tapes. Smile Tapes is a 2021 analog horror series by Puerto Rico, styled after 1990s media. It's about this mysterious substance called smile. Totally nothing suspicious about it at all. Extracted from Abaliomundo rhesus, an otherworldly type of fungus discovered during an excavation. Smile elicits extremely powerful emotions, strange behaviors, and grotesque physical changes. Among them, a strained smile. The infection progresses in stages until it concludes with the host's eventual demise, whereupon the spores are released. Variants of the fungus can produce different variants of the changed individuals who have come to be called Smilers. The Smile Tapes is a PSA on don't do that, kids. Stay clean, kids. Don't do smile. Gemini Home Entertainment. Gemini Home Entertainment is an analog horror web series by Remy Abode that's been posted to YouTube since 2019. This series is about a collection of VHS tapes from the 80s and 1990s. Produced by different fictional companies such as Arnad Computing and Harbage Technologies, then distributed by the titular Gemini Home Entertainment. The series combines cosmic horror, surrealism, and Native American mythology as it opens an alien invasion and the following apocalypse. Of course, like anything, the tapes start super mundane and a little boring, but start spiraling down into terrors in the form of parasitic creatures called woodcrawlers, a mysterious condition called deep root disease, and an unusual fungus called nature's mockery. The grand master behind all the terror is the Iris. This Eye of Cthulhu looking orbits between Neptune and Pluto. It is some kind of sentient, planet-like entity orchestrating the invasion of Earth. While episodes of the main series build up a cohesive storyline, the spin-off, entitled Library C, ups several concepts and addresses sideline stories setting the stage about the impending doom of the human race. The Monument Mythos. The Monument Mythos is a YouTube analog horror series by Alex Kisanis that dives deep into a paranormal alternate history. The series explores behind famous landmarks like the Statue of Liberty, which has some called the Liberty Lurker inside of it, or strange stuff happening at Mount Rushmore. The plot follows these fictional presidencies like J.D. Rockefeller, James Dean, and Al Gore, with alternate realities containing conspiracy theories, Lovecraftian creatures, and dystopian technologies. Some of the recurring elements include extra-dimensional special trees, deadly Giza glass, and that sentient, violent freedom. The Mandela Catalog. The Mandela Catalog is an analog horror series by Alex Kister, set in the fictional county of Mandela, Wisconsin. It follows these entities known as alternates, shape-shifting entities that psychologically inflict cruel punishments on people until they gen themselves or forget who they are completely so that the alternates may take over their lives. They manipulate audiovisual media, be it TVs, computers, or even GPS devices, and use technology as a vessel of terror. The core of the series is religious horror, with heavy biblical references. The alternates are implied to be malevolent entities led by a deceptive, hellish force posing as the Archangel Gabriel. This false Gabriel distorts biblical stories into his view that he is humanity's true savior, while delivering messages of despair and doom. Major themes dealt with in this series are existential dread, fragility of human identity, and the psychological aspect of fear. The series tries to criticize over-reliance on technology because it might make people alienated and manipulate them. It depicts paranoia and fear due to unseen forces in the most known places, using eerie visuals of VHS corrupted media and PSAs. It is a haunting look into the aspect of the vulnerability of man to malevolent and otherworldly power. Local 58. Local 58 is an analog horror web series by Chris Straub, presented as a hijacking of broadcasts from the fictional public access television channel in Mason County, West Virginia. It uses creepy emergency alert system interruptions, cryptic programming, and surreal found footage to paint dire scenarios, embody cosmic horror, mental influence, and the breakdown of society. Many of their stories focus on how helpless humans can be before unimaginable forces beyond our comprehension. The government broadcast originally urges people not to look at the moon, warning that it has become dangerous. However, the broadcast is later hijacked by an unknown entity that contradicts this warning, instead urging viewers to look at it. Another example of their tomfoolery is in this dashcam footage where it depicts a driver who is taken by his GPS on a bizarre adventure through the forest to park and turn off his headlights. A loud roar from outside encourages him to turn the lights back on, at which point he notices a bedazzled creature standing in the road. The GPS insists that the destination is behind him, counting down the distance while the creature gives chase to the car. The feed ends with the car wrecked, the creature unseen, the GPS tone distorted, saying, "The driver has arrived." Vita Carnis. Vita Carnis, Latin for living meat, is an analog horror series made by Darian Coy. It is about flesh-like creatures which suddenly started to pull up in the year 1930, probably related to some sort of cult activity. Whatever the hell they are thought to be earthborn rather than from space. The first sighting of the skinless flesh-like organism was in 1931, after which they grew and began to spread. Soon after their discovery, several species types came into view. Every species is said to have come from the crawlers. Others are trimmings, meat snakes, mimics, harvesters, hosts of influence, monoliths. All of which are different and have different impacts on humanity, which range from almost helpful to deadly, with some having a very high body count. The crawl is the root species of Vita Carnis. It has red, intestine-like tendrils that recycle nutrients, enriching entire ecosystems and supporting plant and animal life. Humans can use it as fertilizer or even as food, though the latter is barely appetizing due to its taste and appearance. The trimmings are small, meaty, turtle-like creatures created by the crawl. They have unique features and are docile, relying on their screeching or appearance for defense. Trimmings are scavengers, eating anything edible, and are often preyed upon. The meat snake is a large, worm-like creature that feeds only on dead meat. It grows by absorbing the flesh of its meals, changing its skull over time. Tameable and defenseless, the meat snake is used by humans to safely dispose of rotting meat. The mimic is a humanoid-looking predator that hunts us humans. It evolves into a more human-like form as it feeds, using ambush tactics to catch prey. After an overabundance of food, it will evolve into a larger, more evolved predator. Elder mimics have durable skin and are harder to eliminate, with their face being the only weak point. Detection is tricky, but can be done by observing unnatural features on people like long fingers, odd walking, or a disturbing smile. The harvester is a plant-like creature with a 3M bulb and tendrils that can extend up to 150 m around it. It paralyzes and drains large prey with venomous spines, then drags it underground to digest it. It focuses on large animals, leaving smaller ones alone as they're not worth the effort, and absorbs the nutrients to fuel its growth. The host of influence resembles a semi-human with tendrils for legs. It releases spores that infect living organisms, rendering them slow, cloth-like, and slowly get them to walk back to the host, where they are then absorbed. The host, for the most part, stays in its place, but is capable of movement if required. The monolith is a 120 m tall, twice the height of the colossal titan for reference, meat fiber structure with thick legs and rope-like appendages, found in a circle on an island in Hudson Bay. They remain still and silent unless provoked. When active, they can swipe, emit EMP blasts, and regenerate rapidly. Little is known about their life cycle, and they can pose a significant threat to humanity. The Backrooms. The Backrooms is an analog horror web series developed by C. Parsons. It's a separate media from the original Backrooms 4chan post. It centers on Async, a fictional research institute which stumbles upon the complex, an endless maze of liminal spaces, of these annoying yellow wallpaper and buzzing light sounds that make you want to tear your ear off. The setting is in the 1990. It looks at Async as it tries to document and get deeper into this strange nightmare realm, where horrific anomalies and people keep disappearing. The series tackles themes like government conspiracies and psychological effects brought about by delving into the unknown. And is it worth risking the lives of many for a chance to find out about the unknown? Petscop. Petscop is a horror web series created by Tony DiMeno. It's framed like a 2014 Let's Play of this unfinished PlayStation game. Our protagonist, Paul, finds this game and documents his playthrough to share with a friend, only to discover the dark side of the game. What at first appeared to be a weird, quirky game about catching creatures called pets leads Paul into the New Maker Plane, a creepy, even more hidden world filled with cryptic puzzles, among other things. With some uncomfortable references to real-life tragedy, such as the loss of Candace Newmaker in a controversial therapy session involving rebirthing, which tragically ended with her passing away. As Paul proceeds through this game, disturbing connections are learned that can be drawn between its contents and his own life. The series deals with trauma, child neglect, and some haunting effects of bad therapy, where the hidden layers, mysterious characters, and fragmented narrative make for a disturbing atmosphere that further blurs the boundary between fiction and reality.